I'm here with Daryl Moose Johnston, President of Operations for the USFL. First of all, I don't know what to call you, Moose, because we football, we fullbacks, but I'm just gonna call you Mr. Johnston because you just got a promotion. Just talk about the USFL second season back, but first season here in Memphis.
Yeah, excited to be here in Memphis. We talk about the classic franchises that were a part of the USFL in their history, and Memphis is definitely one of those. It's funny to hear people didn't realize that Reggie White started his career here in Memphis. So, we're honored to have the Showboats come back online. We're thrilled to be here in the city of Memphis. We're excited about what we're going to be able to bring to them from a quality of football standpoint, and we can't wait to see the response. I know our guys have already kind of connected with the community. We had a really good youth clinic during training camp, and that's one of the things that we're excited about, because when we expanded into 3 other hubs outside of Birmingham this year, one of the things that our group does is immerse themselves in the community. So, through our youth clinics, through some of the interactions that we do with our players, with education, with all the different things, we've got a great reputation and relationship with the Boys and Girls Club. So when we come into a city, we're not just coming in to play football, we're coming in to be a part of your community, and we can't wait to be a part of Memphis's community.
Now, you're an NFL legend, Dallas Cowboys legend, Super Bowl champion 3 times. Talk about that experience playing on that high of a level and bringing it to an executive position now.
You try to do things the same way, right? That fullback position is kind of a behind the scenes, no glory, just nose to the grindstone type mentality, and that's what I try to bring to the job every day. There's a great saying from the book Legacy, which kind of gets into the success of the New Zealand All Blacks. They dominated the world rugby scene for 3 decades, and it's never be too big to do the little things that make the difference. And that's one of the things that I try to emulate, to our people is, listen, we may have a job title, or you may have a description of what your job entails you doing, but our mentality is just get the job done. And we wake up in the morning and we take it on day by day. And it worked well for us last year. We can't wait to see what we're going to do here in season 2. The hard part for us is we were able to lean on each other. We've got all 8 teams in Birmingham, so that means all of our employees are there. And we could lean on each other, and we had great teammates. And it's been hard this year because we're distributed, to the 4 hubs, and we're a little bit light. We're running a little bit lean, but our communication has gotten better. So, with a challenge, there's always going to be a response that can help make you better. And I think one of the things that we've gotten really good at this year that we were probably not as good as we should have been last year is communication, and that's created by the 4 hubs being separated.
And talk about you all coming to Memphis, because a lot of Memphis football fans extremely excited, and bringing the Showboats, just bringing that name and that tradition back. Just talk about how has it been coming back to Memphis.
It's been great, and we kind of ran into it a little bit in Birmingham last year. There's going to be a hesitancy. There's been a number of other leagues that have tried to come in and establish something in Memphis, and it's been a challenge. Probably hasn't worked out the way that group wanted it to, and was probably disappointing for the fan base too. So we know we've got some things that we have to overcome here in the city of Memphis, just like we did in Birmingham. There were some doubters in Birmingham, and our job is to prove to them, to convince them that we're here for the long haul. And it took a while to get Birmingham to believe that we were going to be there, but we pulled that off in year 1, and we're excited to do it here in Memphis in year 2. We're here for the long haul. This is not a short-term vision, and we love the response we're getting right now. Trending towards Saturday. It's going to be really exciting to see this stadium on game day on Saturday.
Anything else you want to add? Because you're the fullback, but now you're the president. So, but anything you want to add, Brother Johnston?
I think the big thing for us is just, for the fan base here, we do a lot of different things on television. We really pushed the envelope last year when you talk about production elements in doing football. And we've got 2 great partners, right? It's America's Game of the Week for Fox. It's Sunday Night Football for NBC. They've done the last 2 Super Bowls. They know how to do it. And then to give them the opportunity to do drone cameras and double sky cams and helmet cams, the audio, the access that we provide. We understand that watching it at home is a really unique experience, but what we want to encourage everybody in Memphis to do is to come out and see it live. I would tell people when I moved down to Dallas, I grew up on the Canadian border, and I was a big hockey fan, and they would watch hockey on television, and they didn't get it. And I said, you can't watch hockey on television the first time. You got to come out and watch it live. Everything happens away from the puck. On TV, they have the camera on the puck. All the great stuff is happening behind the puck, around the puck. So you get them to go to a game and watch a hockey game live, and they're hooked. And so for all you Memphis fans that are waiting to have some more football, come on out to our game. Come on out and see it in person. Make a connection with our players. The access you'll get is pretty unique. And the one great thing is, the one thing you don't have to give up is we're actually going to bring Mike Pereira into the stadium on the Jumbotron. So if we got something that goes out to the replay center in LA, it's going to come onto the Jumbotron. And that's one of the things that some people, you don't really think about it, right? But hey, I like staying at home because I like some of the inside information I get. I need to know why that didn't happen. I want to see what Mike Pereira says. So we're going to be able to give you that on the Jumbotron. So we're eliminating all the excuses for you to stay home and watch it on TV if you have the opportunity to come out and see it in the stands.
And tell everybody who Mike Pereira is, because a lot of people might not know he's such a great official.
So if you're a fan of football, Mike Pereira is the rules guy, the original rules guy. He's the one that set the template for all these other guys to kind of step in and try to be who Mike Pereira is, but nobody can beat the original. And we had the opportunity. He worked for the NFL, and we would do our Fox seminar, and he would come out and he would go over the rules, the new rules for that season. And David Hill, our boss at Fox, is like, all right, somebody put that guy on a retainer because he is a star, and he has been that, and he is so wise. And that's the great thing about what we have, what Mike has done with our rules. There's some things that the NFL looks at, but I'm sure if you're a fan of football and you watch our games and you see some of the rules we have in place, you'll be like, hey, I like that. That makes sense. I've always wondered why. The great one this year is a fumble forward through the end zone is a touchback, right? That's punitive, right? And we all know it's like, wow, that's kind of harsh. In the field of play, if it goes out of bounds, it goes back to the spot of the fumble. That was one of Mike's big ones. So in the USFL, if you fumble the ball out of the back of the end zone, out the side of the end zone, it's not a touchback. It's going to come back to the spot of the fumble, and that team remains possession.
The legend. It's the legend. The fullback, the legend, now president. Thanks so much, Moose.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.